are starting with Stone Cold Steve Austin. Everyone say hi to YouTube. We're starting with Stone Cold Steve Austin. And this is the best entrance I could find. I really just found the first one. Like, I just clicked it. So, oh my god, Majestic Lion, thank you so much for the sub!
Majestic Leon 90 joined the Spider-Verse. Let's go.
Majestic Leon 90, like it doesn't say lion. Okay, anyways. Alright. Thank you so much for everybody that's subbing up. I really love y'all. I really appreciate y'all. Y'all mean the absolute world to me. Thank you so much. But let's go ahead and get into Stone Cold Steve Austin. This is the best entrance I could find, by the way.
I didn't need anyone but me.
All right, Vince McMahon, we don't like you. Move along.
The world that's ever helped me.
Oh, yeah, that's who we came to see. Stone Cold Steve Austin. Why he walking so scary?
Walker, give me a hell.
Hell yeah! Yeah! Oh, the middle fingers, I like that. Yeah! Yeah! You're gonna be excited.
Steve Austin.
Hi, little Josters. Shamar Jackson, thank you so much for the sub. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Real quick, I think that Stone Cold is so intimidating. Oh, I didn't stop the music, guys. Hello. Why didn't no one say anything? Anyways, I think he's so intimidating because of King D. I am not gonna say your name, but thank you so much for the sub. King D, I've been seeing you everywhere. Are you just trying to showcase your username or something? Like, I just seen him on my Patreon like twice. Anyways. I feel like Stone Cold is literally so intimidating because of his bald head. Is that just me? Is that just me? Like, he really is intimidating because he's bald and scary. Like, please. Why is Vince McMahon so scared? Please. Please. Don't encourage him.
I see the look in your eyes. It's been a long time since you and I have been in the ring together.
I'm sure that's what it was.
You look great
Not that you look great.
and too kind to me.
Okay, wait. Someone in the chat actually sent a better entrance. We're gonna check that one out real quick. So hold on, give me a second. Someone in the chat sent a better entrance. Let me look it up. Okay, wait. In my opinion, I think he's so intimidating because he's bald and he has no eyebrows. He has no eyebrows. It's no eyebrows, bro. Like, how are you that intimidating? All right, let me make sure the quality is up. This one is Stone Cold Steve Austin's entrance on Raw as the WWF champion. And it says Raw is War 1998. So this is from the 90s. Oh yeah, and it shows a 316 too. Yeah. Bro, it's a demon. Let me see it. I love how it's so funny. Yeah, everybody. He's a demon. What? I am just off the entrances alone. I am literally so freaking excited. I'm literally so excited to see his best moments. Oh my gosh, I can't wait. All right, we're going to get into it right now. I don't even have to wait. We're getting into it right now. Okay, wait, give me 1 second. 1 second. Now we're moving on to Stone Cold Steve Austin's best moments. Now, we have two different ones. I do have to say, for my editor, I love all of you that are coming in here and saying you were just watching my Black Panther reaction. Actually, like, shout out to all of you. I love you guys so much. Like, seriously. Because you went from watching a video of me to coming here and watching me live. Like, my whole day is just filled with you. I mean, your whole day is just filled with me. Like, that's crazy. Anyways. Sorry. We were watching the Stone Cold Steve Austin. I do have to let my editor know. This one is a WWE video, so please edit it so we can avoid copyright at all costs, please. Someone say you're amazing, so why not come over here? Oh, thank you, Donnie. I love you guys. Anyways, okay. Stone Cold Steve. Can y'all see? No, the chat is in the way of the title. Move, chat. Okay, there we go. Stone Cold Steve Austin's best WrestleMania moments. This is top 10 moments. It looks like it's from 2023, and this is from WrestleMania. I couldn't find any more recent ones. I'm sorry. YouTube is scarce when it comes to the best moments. So yeah, this is the one we're going to be watching. And then I think I have another one as well that's his best destructive moments, which from what I've seen, he's pretty destructive. Eee! Can't wait. Bro, get out of here. No one plays WWE. Game is trash. Then they're giving locker codes. Ooh. Oh! He playing the ref in this one? Oh my god, that's so funny, because why is he playing the ref? Oh no! Oh my god, that's horrible! Oh, by the way, someone in my YouTube chat did tell me that the context of these top moments matters more than really what's happening, and I absolutely understand that, and of course I want to understand the context, but we're just looking at the top moments. So I understand it's the context that matters, not the moment. I get it. He's so tough. Ooh, is that his signature move? Eee. Okay, that has to be a signature move, right? It's called the Stone Cold Stunner.
Cold dance.
Oh no, Stone Cold, don't do it. Don't do it. Oh my god, if he starts breaking out dancing. Oh! He is not playing. He was like, yeah, sight. He is not going. I'm not losing to this man. He is tough. This guy's like, hello, you gonna tap? What? Bro would not submit. Someone said they call him the Texas rattlesnake. The Texas rattlesnake. Alright, sorry. This match kicked off his career in popularity. That's good. I'm glad he didn't tap out. Bro, it's tough. Dang, how many beers do you need? Y'all need to be drinking like that. Oh! Oh! Wow, you taking out a drunk McAfee is crazy. Why is he running around the ring like this? You know what? I just want to say real quick that watching your favorite wrestlers, your favorite artists, your favorite actors get old is probably the most depressing thing in the world. Like, just seeing like how old Stone Cold looks now, it literally hurts. Can you imagine one day this world will not have Stone Cold Steve Austin? That is such a sad thought to have. Stone Cold's motto is don't trust anybody. DTA. Why would you? He's right. I will be right back though, guys. I have to go. deal with something. Someone says, so don't think it, MJ. Damn. I'm sorry, but it's hard not to. I'm one of those people that think about it quite often, especially for myself. Like, I'm gonna be old one day. Like, it's hard. All right. We're back. Oh, he's fighting The Rock? What is happening? I just got back. Hit him with the Stone Cold Stunner. Oh, Lord. King D13, thank you so much for the gifted sub. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. W's in the chat for my babies, for all my babies, all my little spider babies. I'm not cool enough for this stream, but I wanted to stop by and let you know how much I enjoy your reactions. Everyone's cool here. What are you talking about? Hello? We're all cool. Everyone's welcome. You can stay. But thank you. What was I about to say? Damn, brain fart. Let's continue. I didn't know he fought The Rock. He probably fought everyone, right? I mean, he's stone cold. Oh my gosh, Danny. Or Andy, thank you so much for the other gifted. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Wow, Andy's just going all out today with the gifted. Okay, boy.
Seventh Waters cheered. X25.
Thank you, Seventh Waters. Thank you for the cheers. Andy, are you even subbed yourself, man? Hold on, because I see you gifted subs. Are you subbed? It doesn't even look like you're subbed. Anyways. Yes, thank you everyone for the gifted. Eee! Damn, Brock. Oh no, we've seen this trick before. I knew it was coming. I knew it was coming. This man is pure evil. Andy, thank you so much for the sub, sweetheart. Thank you, thank you. Mwah. We seen the beer trick. Yeah, don't trust anybody. We know, we know. Oh my gosh. Even though they hate each other, I guess. Oh, you're beating the brakes off of him. This is just cruel. Oh no. By the way, is Goldberg the one y'all were calling Oldberg? Seventh Waters, thank you so much for the sub.
Seventh
You
Waters
guys are
joined the Spider-Verse.
You guys are spoiling me today. Do you want me to cry? Do y'all want me to cry? Because y'all are spoiling me today. We're getting like inches and inches closer to my goal. I love you guys. Talk about we love you. I know y'all love me, but I love you. Like, it's mutual. It's not like you're on that side of the screen and, you know, we don't love each other or nothing, but, you know, we're here. We're here. Okay, sorry. Thank you,
King underscore 13 inches has gifted 1 subs to viewers.
King D 13 inches. Thank you so much for the gifted sub. Thank you so much. I had to really say his name. Andy with another
Andy
gifted
Barkley
sub.
fanboy has
Oh
gifted
my
1 sub to
freaking
viewers.
god, what is even happening? Are y'all trying to make me cry? What is wrong with you guys? Thank you guys so much. Oh my gosh, look at how many subs we've gotten already. We're at 65 out of 100. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much. Oh my goodness. They said Def gotta change the name. That's why I said the whole name, because, you know. Listen, if he gonna be gifting subs, he is King D 13 inches, period, point blank. I was gonna say, you really wanted to say his name, didn't you, MJ? Hell yeah. I wanted to so bad. All right, back to the video. Thank you guys so much for all the subs. I love you guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I cannot stress enough how much I love this. Seriously. Oh my goodness, I cannot stress it enough. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Like, I'm actually... Every time I get on here, you guys make me so damn happy. I love you guys. Okay, back to the top. We need to finish this. Better watch out, MJ. This is how you got pregnant. Alright. Moving on. Stone Cold and McMahon actually seeing eye to eye? Now what happened to don't trust anybody? Andy! Thank you so
Andy
much for the
fanboy has gifted 1 subs to
Andy,
views.
relax, bro. Relax. Don't empty your wallet now. Thank you so much, Andy, for the gifted sub. I really appreciate you. Thank you, thank you. Thank you. Mwah. Thank you. I wish I could just smooch your little forehead. Alright, sorry. Let me stop. I don't know who Kevin Owens is. Sorry. Stunner! Yeah! That's what I'm talking about! Yeah!
Uh-oh. Austin ducked
E.
it. Austin go.
E! E! Oh! Yes! This is his first WWE title. That was the sickest finish I've ever seen. That was so good. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I love that. Hell yeah. Okay, we're gonna move on to the do you guys want to watch Stone Cold's most destructive moments? Do you guys want to see that, or do you want to just move on to his career story? Let me know. Let me know. Let me know how y'all feeling. Yes? 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 Okay, we'll watch Stone Cold Steve Austin's most destructive moments. I'm excited to see this one because I remember, who was he fighting? The match that we had watched? He was fighting, was it Triple H? I can't remember. I don't know if it was Triple H. It was somebody, and he was beating the dog crap out of him in the most destructive ways. So I'm excited. I'm really excited. Okay. Stone Cold Steve Austin's most destructive moments. This is from 2020, so hopefully they do like of all time. I'm pretty sure they will. Here we go. This is oh, by the way, editor. By the way, this is another WWE video, so please edit it as much as possible. Monster truck limo. Okay, I'm already excited.
Not coming back to the arena.
Really? What the f? Oh! Please tell me that's actually him driving that monster truck.
Well, Mr. McMahon, I think just witnessed.
Please tell me it's actually him. Bro actually got to drive a freaking monster truck limo. Yo, that is so fire. Willie Nelson's guitar. Don't you dare. Get your ass back in that ring. Save that guitar. Oh! Oh my god! Why does he destroy everything? What's wrong with him? Uh-oh. What is he about to do? Oh! Oh! Yo! I love him! Oh my god! I love him so much! Why is he doing all this? I ain't gonna lie, he might need therapy. This is very destructive behavior. Like, it's like he's really feeding into his impulses. Like, I would see a fire truck and see a hose and like, damn, I would love to spray that hose at somebody. That's like some impulse behavior. Oh my gosh. And then it's a beer bath, so that's beer, not water. Oh my god, that's so funny. It's the Attitude Era. Oh.
Into this capacity crowd.
Threw him right into an ambulance. Yup. Time for you to go. Whoa! Whoa! Bro, he's not even a wrestler. This man is deadass trying to kill people. What is this? And why is the truck humping the ambulance? Why is it moving like? Oh my god. He's really trying to murder people out here. Bring what down? Why are we pulling this down? Explain to me why we're pulling this down and why is the Big Show strong enough to pull this down? What is going on here?
Can you believe the strength of the Big Show?
Oh my goodness. Everyone's trying to kill each other during the Attitude Era? Apparently, because... Oh my goodness. That is so horrible.
Tremendous battle.
Someone said, context, that's his belt, and Shane McMahon put it on the screen to annoy him, so he destroyed it to cost the company money. I thought you guys said he made him money. What is wrong with this man? He is just trying to destroy wrestling now. What is wrong with him? Oh, Lord have mercy. Okay, we're having fun. This guy is insane. And I you know what? Stone Cold Steve Austin is kind of insane, but I love it. I love him. He's crazy. And I love it because he's just destroying the world. He doesn't give a damn. Don't let him in here. Oh my goodness. He doesn't care. What are you doing? Dude, can you imagine being here in the crowd for all of these moments? This would be the dopest thing I've ever seen. Like, and they start beating the brakes off of Vince McMahon. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. Lock him up! Lock him up, police! Say I have to get the sound again because it stopped working on my keyboard for some reason. I don't know why. I have to download it again. Oh. How do they survive these? Oh my gosh. The good thing is, if he actually did drop him, there probably would have been blood splatter right along with that. Because that was crazy. What is with him and crushing cars? I know dang well that wasn't their cars. That is just cruel. And he drove it all. I know Stone Cold was having so much fun with this. I know he was having a like all the monster trucks he's driven in his life. I know he was having a blast.
There's my own little toy. It's a little grubby me looks on me.
Oh. Why did he just blow it up? So it's American shit. Oh.
It doesn't look like he's gonna.
No. No. That's that major anger issues. Oh! Yo! I'm so happy that all of this is, well, at least some of it is planned. Because, dude, there's no way. There's no way he actually filled his car with cement and and McMahon let him get away with that. There's actually no way. Yo, I would lose it. Oh my goodness. That was crazy. This man is definitely insane. A little bit, you know. He's definitely crazy. Okay. Shoot, I liked his destructive moments more than his top 10. I liked watching him cause chaos. Okay. Now that we're done with that, we have his career story, and I also found a Stone Cold gives... I'll show you guys. Hold on. I also found Stone Cold gives his iconic Austin 316 speech at King of the Ring 1996. I wanted to get a little bit of a backstory about the 316, so we're going to be watching that today on 316 Day. Yay. Okay. We're going to watch it. It's only a minute 45. We're going to watch this real quick, and then we're going to move on to The career
Andy
story.
Barkley
Andy, thank you
fanboy has
again
gifted
for
1 subs
another
to
gifted
views.
sub. Thank you, thank you. Andy, are you okay?
The fourth prestigious, often an incredible victory. Get that piece of crap out of my ring. Out of the ring, get him out of the WWF. You ain't got what he.
King D, thank you so much for the gifted sub as well. Thank you, thank you. Are you guys like battling each other? King D and Andy keep going back and forth. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it. No, I cannot imagine Stone Cold with hair. I don't even want to try to imagine it because he is comfortably bald and has no eyebrows.
Sit there and you thump your Bible. Psalms talk about John 3:16. He says, I just whipped your ass. That courage he had in his prime. I don't give a damn what they are, and I'm fixing to start running through all of them.
It's terrifying.
Davey Boy Smith or Shawn Michaels, but you're looking at the next WWF champion, Stone Cold said so.
Because Stone Cold said so! Okay, first of all, he was sweating and out of breath, and he was still intimidating me. I was terrified. He was gonna beat my ass through the screen. Because Stone Cold said so. So said, goddamn, he's hot. I mean, if bald and sweaty is your thing, someone redeemed Stretch. Gosh darn it. And Seventh Waters, thank you so much for the bits.
Waters cheered.
Okay, before we get into the career story, we have the Stone Cold Steve Austin career story with Wrestle with Andy, our favorite career story guy. But before we get into that, I need to go get my food. I'll be back. All right. But yeah, let's get back into the video. I'm gonna keep eating my burrito. We're gonna watch the Stone Cold Steve Austin career story. And then right when I'm about to get into it, Seventh Waters, thank you so much for the gifted sub. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. You guys have been on top of it today. Is it payday? Is today payday and I didn't know? Thank you so much, Seventh Waters. I really appreciate it. Hispanic eating at Chipotle is crazy. First of all, Chipotle is good, okay? You can stay mad. At least I ain't Hispanic eating at Taco Bell because their food is crap, okay? But I'm also a Hispanic who knows how to cook at home. I just had to stream today. So we ain't gonna talk about it. Alright, here we go. Stone Cold Steve Austin. Bottom line. This is his career story.
In our opinion, Steve Austin is without a doubt the greatest.
I'm sorry. You guys may not like it, but I like subtitles. It helps. Actually, he don't even have subtitles. I can't even put subtitles in this video. Okay, never mind. The Karma, I would like to recommend somebody for the wheel. Kenny Omega. He is not on the list, but since you are a sub, I will put him on the list right now for you. Excuse me, burrito. Kenny Omega. All right. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You're supposed to eat when you watch wrestling. I mean, you're supposed to eat popcorn while you watch movies, but people are still going to complain about it, so. And no, guys, I am not mixed. I'm Hispanic. I am Puerto Rican and Dominican. That is what I'm mixed with. Who did we just watch? Stone Cold Steve Austin. Let's remove him from the list, and then we're about to watch China after this, so we gotta remove her as well. I don't have a lot of female wrestlers on here, by the way. Andy, if you're a sub, you can't be on the list, but you can request wrestlers for the list, and you can also request movies or videos. Sorry, not movies. Not movies. Videos. You can request videos as well. Hi, everybody. Are you guys just now joining? Hi, everyone. Welcome to the stream. Welcome. You're a tad bit late, but it's okay. Why is my stream deck updating? What the heck? Alright, let's go ahead and get into this.
In our opinion, Steve Austin is without a doubt the greatest WWE superstar of all time.
Facts.
More so than Hulk Hogan, The Rock, John Cena, or even Bruno Sammartino.
One of the best-
No one
best
has
of
ever
all
been
time.
more over with fans, drew more money, or brought more eyeballs to the product. However, his voyage to the top wasn't a straightforward one. From his early days,
Yutsai11 joined the Spider-Verse.
Yo, it's Saya. Thank you so much for the sub. Thank you, thank you, thank you. W's in the chat for Yo, it's Saya, please.
in the world-famous Sportatorium to getting fired by WCW before finally going on to become Stone Cold. So, join us today as we take a deep dive into his entire career journey to the top in
You know what? I might have to double think this. I don't think I want to see his whole career story if I have to see him with hair. I'm already uncomfortable. No, save it all.
Bottom line, the Steve Austin story. Stephen James Anderson was born on December 18, 1964 to parents James and Beverly in Victoria, Texas. Stephen was the youngest of 4 siblings, and it's been speculated by him that the added pressure of having another child was what eventually caused his father to leave them behind when he was only a year old. Soon after this,
That's so
Steve's
sad.
parents' divorce was finalized, with what was left of the family relocating to nearby Edna, where his mother would remarry a man named Ken Williams. Changing his name to Steve Williams from then on in, the youngster performed well in school, but what he really excelled at was athletics.
Dude, why is his neck so dang thick? What the heck is going on here? By the way, very sad start already. I'm already depressed, but
By the time he was ready to leave,
at least he had a step-up father, right?
he had even been awarded a football scholarship at Wharton County Junior College, and this was later followed by a full scholarship to the University of North Texas. Yes, at 6'2" and with a naturally muscular build, it seemed that Williams was destined to excel in the sporting world, though this would not end up happening in football as he had originally thought.
Why?
Instead, it was pro
my
wrestling that
goodness.
became his calling. He had been a fan of the industry throughout his whole life,
You're right, he was
watching
very
local Texas
buff.
promotions like Fritz Von Erich's World Class Championship Wrestling and Paul Bosch's Southwest Sports as both a child and a young man. But up until then, he'd never thought of it as a career prospect. This changed when he decided to
Honestly,
try it.
I don't think anyone actually thinks of wrestling as a career. Like any of the, at least the early wrestlers, like 90s, early 2000s, I don't think any of them actually thought of it as a career. No, I don't have a Snapchat. Please leave me alone. I don't have a Snapchat, and even if I did, I wouldn't give it to you. Warrior King, thank you so much for the sub. Thank you, thank you, oh, well. Hold
Their
on.
Warrior King 5 joined the Spider-Verse.
I can't clap because for some reason, my stream deck is trying to update right now. But thank you so much for the sub. Thank you. I mean, I could picture, someone said I still can't picture him with hair. I could picture young him with hair, but as he gets older, it's starting to make me a little uncomfortable. I will admit that.
Out for himself. In 1989, Steve joined WCCW star Chris Adams' wrestling school in Dallas, where he was trained in the ways of the industry. Well, we say that, but really, the industry's secrets were still closely guarded back in those days, with kayfabe being strictly upheld at all times. Because of this, when he began learning, he was taught to apply moves as if the fights were real. Legend even has it that the future superstar was
Okay.
pulled aside and let in on what was really going on. Yes, it's
So
strange
he
to
didn't
think of
even
today,
know?
but back then, many still believed that what they were seeing in the ring was real, and
Wow, that's crazy. Hi, Joe Tinson. I am Joe. Welcome. That's crazy. He didn't even know. He thought he was really fighting.
Williams now had a duty to closely guard those secrets, just as his wrestling heroes had before him. He quickly learned to make everything he did look legitimate and intense, and this was an attitude that would serve him well, seeing him reach the top of the wrestling world about a decade later, but we'll get there soon enough. For now, though, he worked for the newly formed United States Wrestling Association, and it was here that legendary booker Dutch Mantel would give him his gimmick name going forward. In a bid to avoid confusion between the newcomer and Dr. Death Steve Williams, Dirty Dutch decided to call the former Steve Austin instead, naming him
Okay, that makes sense. So he got his identity pretty early on. I was about to say, someone said I thought it was real back then. I don't know when I actually found out it wasn't real. Like, I don't know. I feel like it was a lot later in my life. I think I was like maybe 10 to 12 years old. I don't remember at what point I found out it wasn't real, but I just knew that wrestling was a thing. I just thought it was another sport, whatever. Like boxing or basketball, you know, like I just thought it was that. I don't remember when I learned about the real identity of wrestling. I don't know why.
Him after the lead character in the $6 Million Man. This was something that the future WWE champion was initially hesitant about doing, though he soon came to embrace it, spending the next few months working in USWA, where he would briefly be managed by Percy Pringle, also known as Paul Bearer, as well as his real-life girlfriend at the time, Jeannie Clark. Clark and Austin would go on to marry a couple of years later, with them eventually having 2 children together. And when he signed with World Championship Wrestling in 1991, she followed him.
So cute.
Here, the newlyweds started going by the nickname of Stunning Steve Austin. And after only a couple of weeks on the roster, he became the television champion, showing the future that The Office saw in him. Now, for those who only know the Rattlesnake through his later brawling style, it needs to be pointed out that he was, at this point in his career, one of the best technical performers out there. He proved this during these early days when he had a series of great matches against
Fire Blaster. Don't start. Do not start with me in my chat. We know that the moves that they're doing are real, but they do have to be practiced. And like you said, it can lead to real injuries. But the sport as a whole is fake. There is no real fighting. It is a plot. Okay? Don't start with me in my chat. They know in my chat how I feel about this. Don't start. I get it. The moves are real. They can get hurt. But it's still a fake match, okay? Thank you.
the likes of Bobby Eaton, Barry Windham, and Ricky Steamboat, all while being a key member of Paul Heyman's Dangerous Alliance stable. To many, it looked like he had future WCW champion written all over him, and this rise to the top continued when he began teaming with Brian Pillman in October of 1992. The two decided to call themselves the Hollywood Blondes on account of their long, flowing hair. Austin and Pillman had an instant chemistry together, and their interview segments gave the former his first chance to really show how good he could be on the mic, something which would be one of his defining traits later on in his career. The duo also became best friends behind the scenes too, with Steve to this day still regularly being seen wearing a gold chain that Brian had given him around this time. As an in-ring unit, they had much success together and even won the WCW World Tag Team Championships on March 3rd of 1993. Despite this, however, the duo were split up after Pillman got legitimately injured that summer. Austin himself has went on to say that he believes the injury was just an excuse for the breakup, and the split likely happened because certain members of the roster were becoming jealous of how over the two were getting, and wanted to nip it in the bud before they became a threat to the others' spot on the roster. Unfortunately, this theme of being held down would continue throughout the rest of the Texans' time with WCW. He did manage to win the United States Championship from Dustin Rhodes in an excellent 2 out of 3 falls match at December 27th, 19...
So y'all stopped him from being one of the best tag matches, but he still became one of the best wrestlers of all time. Crazy.
93's Starrcade, but that was as high as he was ever going to be allowed to reach. By 1995, while at home recovering from a tricep injury, he was actually fired by Eric Bischoff via FedEx, being told then that the company didn't see him as a marketable star. Bischoff has denied parts of this story since, arguing that he fired Austin as he felt he was embellishing his injury status. But the fact that he couldn't think of a way to turn the biggest draw in the industry's history into a main event figure is damning either way, and would go down as one of the biggest mistakes in that company's long list of them. Just think of how different wrestling would have been had Steve remained with WCW.
I was gonna say, can you imagine if that guy didn't make that mistake and he would have stayed over there? Feel sorry for him.
And rose up to the main event during the NWO storyline. It likely would have killed the competition altogether, if we're being honest. This didn't happen, however, and now furious with his dismissal, the former Hollywood Blonde went over to Extreme Championship Wrestling instead, where Paul Heyman allowed him to vent his anger in a series of skits that, looking back on it now, were sowing the first seeds of the Stone Cold character. In them, he mocked Nitro for its reliance on old names and for not trusting him to run with the ball. He also had a couple of matches with ECW champion at the time, Mikey Whipwreck, and it's been rumored that after seeing the star he had on his hands, Heyman actually wanted to put the belt on Austin for a period, but that Austin refused this, arguing that he was more effective as the big bully villain, being thwarted by the babyface. With the success he was having in ECW, it wasn't long before Jim Ross and Kevin Nash got wind of what Steve was doing over in Philadelphia, and they took his information to Vince McMahon, convincing him to sign their future Golden Goose to a contract in late 1995. Now, with the biggest promotion on the planet, Austin planned to finally prove that he was the star he knew he could be. However, McMahon didn't quite see things the same way, at least not initially.
Of course not, he's Vince McMahon. He sucks.
He had the Texan pegged to be an upper mid-card heel
I think I like the military cut rather than the long hair. I think the military cut is okay. I think it's a little better.
The ringmaster who, with the $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase by his side, would be able to put on excellent technical matches and get others over, but one that certainly wasn't a main event player. It was an inauspicious start, but during 1996, Steve quickly showed that he was of more value than he had initially been perceived to be, as he had a series of great bouts with Savio Vega, the best of which was their Caribbean strap match at In Your House.
I love how he never gave up. He kept trying to prove his worth. I love that.
8 Beware of Dog on May 26th. Following a loss that night, stipulations forced DiBiase to leave WWE, and this allowed Austin to branch out on his own for the first time. Here, he was finally given more promo segments, and this, combined with his continually impressive in-ring work, began to catch Vince's eye more and more. In fact, the boss now felt that the ringmaster gimmick was too limiting for a performer like Steve, and that he needed a rebrand. The idea was then floated that he morph into an assassin-like heel character, one partially based on real-life hitman Richard Kuklinski.
Ooh.
Austin was given a series of gimmick names to choose from that included Otto Von Ruthless, Ice Dagger,
Ew.
Fang McFrost, and best of all, Chili McFreeze. Thankfully, the Rattlesnake's wife Jeannie had better ideas. As she was serving her husband a cup of tea one day, she told him to make sure he drank it before it got stone cold. This, it turned out, would...
She made his name off of a cup of tea. Shout out to his wife, man. Just shout out to his wife. She's dope. Talk about make sure it don't get stone cold. Oh, man.
be the initial spark that birthed Stone Cold Steve Austin. By the June 1996 King of the Ring, he was ready to make a
those
statement.
names are horrible.
Originally, the tournament that year was to be won by Triple H, but as part of his punishment for taking part in the infamous curtain call a few months earlier, this was pushed back, and Stone Cold was given the honor instead. That night in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, Austin beat Mark Merrow in the semifinal match, busting his lip up in the process. A trip to the hospital and a few stitches later, and he was back at the arena for the finals, where he would be going up against Jake the Snake Roberts. At this time, Jake was portraying a born-again Christian character and had cut a religious-based promo on the Texan while he was away. Michael Hayes informed Steve of this when he returned, and so it happened that, after winning the match and the King of the Ring as a whole, Steve walked up the ramp and cut a promo on the fly that would soon go down in history. You sit there and you thump your Bible and you say your prayers and it didn't get you anywhere. Talk about your Psalms, talk about John 3:16, Austin 3:16 says I just whipped your ass. Those were the words spoken by the Rattlesnake that night, and it has since been rightly remembered as one of the most iconic promos in the industry. Almost immediately, fans started bringing signs to shows reading Austin 3:16. Steve, of course, was supposed to be the ultimate villain, a cheater who would jump you from behind, then give you the finger as he left your prone body on the mat. This, however, was the start of the late 90s. It was the era of South Park, Marilyn Manson, and Eminem, the era of the anti-hero. And so the old babyface ways of saying your prayers and taking your vitamins had become passé. Every week, the company tried to push Austin as the biggest heel in wrestling, and every week, the cheers got louder and louder. This became particularly noticeable at the...
Is there anything really wrong with cheering for a heel? I don't know. If it's a really good heel, I think it's okay.
November 17th, 1996 Survivor Series, where he faced the returning Bret Hart, who had by that point been the paragon of virtue and all that was good in WWE for years. Vince McMahon, who was on commentary that night, was even forced to acknowledge the cheers the villain was getting from the raucous New York crowd. Austin would end up losing that night, but his star was secured after top brass saw the way fans reacted to him, himself with the Hart family in the process. Austin and Pillman took part in the iconic Pillman's Got a Gun angle, during which Steve staged a home invasion of his friend's house.
Y'all, I'm hungry. I'm sorry. This burrito is really good. I'm listening to the story and just eating this burrito. I'm just like, yeah. Y'all, Stone Cold. That was a good name.
Only for Brian to pull out a gun on camera and fire it at an off-screen rattlesnake as the screen went to static.
What?
To say that this was controversial was an understatement, and the company felt some blowback for it at the time.
Oh no, that is
However,
definitely
if nothing else,
insane.
it was a sign of the direction they were moving in, a direction that would see Austin at its helm.
Oh,
As
Lord,
1997
that's crazy.
started, Stone Cold continued to grow in popularity. He won the Royal Rumble in January through devious means, but only got cheered louder because of this. Then, just in time for WrestleMania 13, his feud with Bret Hart had picked up again, as the two were booked to have a submission match. Austin had never been a submission wrestler, and so feared that he and Bret were going to stink up the joint. How little he knew then, as it turned out that they would go on to have what might very well be the greatest
Yeah, the
wrestling
one where
match
he didn't
ever that
submit.
night in Chicago. The story was simple. Bret Hart had been the good guy for his entire singles run, only ever trying to do the right and honorable thing. But now the fans were tiring of this and beginning to turn on him. On the opposite end of the ring was Steve Austin. He was anti-authority, cool, and despite being a bad guy, he was everything they wanted. Bret had come to the decision that his opponent was the source of all his problems and vowed to prove that, for all his swagger, Steve was a phony. He would do this, he claimed, by making the Texan submit in the middle of the ring. Austin, for his part, claimed that there wasn't a man or woman alive who could make him say the words "I quit," and that Hart only ever wanted to blame his problems on someone else. Someone had to win, and the future direction of the company itself lay in the balance. When the time came for the bell to ring, fans watched as a master class took place. At one point, you could almost see the tides of history shifting in Austin's favor as he clattered Hart with a chair while the latter was sitting on the top rope, all to the soundtrack of one of the most guttural pops ever heard at a wrestling show. The ending came with Bret locking the
crazy.
rattlesnake in the sharpshooter, but Austin, who was by this point gushing blood from the forehead,
He will
refused
not
to
give up.
quit,
He will not
eventually
submit.
passing out from the pain instead. This finish is now considered by many to be one of the best ever, and the image of Austin's face, screaming in pain and soaked in blood, has gone on to become iconic in
I
its
seen
own
that
right.
picture. I actually know about that picture. It's definitely a viral picture. Y'all gonna stop talking about me and this damn burrito. Leave me alone.
After the match, Hart, now having been declared the winner, continued to beat on his opponent, drawing rapturous boos from the crowd. As he was eventually taken away and Stone Cold came to, he hit a referee with a stunner and then walked out on his own merit.
Why did he hit the ref with the stunner? What did the ref do? What the? He mad that the ref called it? I didn't say I quit. I didn't submit and you called it and I'm gonna stun you.
Refusing anyone's help and receiving a champion's response as a result. The double switch had been executed perfectly, and now Steve was set up to be the ultimate 90s anti-hero. He spent the next few months growing more and more over as fans had now been given permission to cheer for him. During this time, he became a reluctant tag team champion with Shawn Michaels, and when the Heartbreak Kid was later injured, Mick Foley as well. He also continued to feud with the Hart family, eventually segueing into a program with Owen Hart, with the two set to battle over the Intercontinental title at SummerSlam 1997 on August 3rd. This was the moment where Stone Cold was supposed to reach the next rung on the ladder to the top, taking the secondary belt home on his way to his eventual goal of becoming the world champion.
But
Unfortunately, though, the night ended in disaster when a botched pile driver left Austin temporarily paralyzed. It's still horrifying to look back on even now.
what?
And Steve has since
I didn't know about that. Oh my goodness. That is so terrifying. Thank God it was only temporary, but oh my gosh. That just made me feel a little sick while I'm over here eating this burrito. I was about to say I love he had to change his whole wrestling style after that. That is so freaking scary. I was gonna say I love how no matter what, he always Andy, what are you even talking about? Andy's over here talking about Mike Tyson. Anyways. I love how Stone Cold always, even though he was working with people along the way, he was always on the top by himself. Did you guys notice that? He always made it to the top by himself. He's definitely had a lot of people by his side along the way, but he's always just been Steve Austin. That's it. And I love that. I really love that. Oh my god, but that makes me so sad though.
He's gone on to talk about the accident, saying that he initially thought he had become the next Christopher Reeve, destined to spend the rest of his life in a wheelchair. Thankfully, it wasn't as bad as it first appeared, and after a long couple of minutes, he regained use of his limbs and was able to roll up Owen for the planned victory.
Oh.
After the match, however, it was clear that
Thank God, because that is so scary. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. I'm so glad that they didn't have to like drag him out of there. He could have at least got up and finished it himself. Oh my gosh. Oh. What was I about to say? Yeah, no, that's insane. Oh, you guys were saying R.I.P. Owen Hart. Rest in peace, Owen Hart. I don't know who that is. Maybe we can react to him one day. But yes, rest in peace to him.
something was still very wrong. Austin could barely stand up, let alone hold his newly won Intercontinental title above his head, and he had to be helped to the back by a group of officials. Once he got backstage, he was immediately taken to the hospital and diagnosed with a broken neck. Because of this, he would be out of action indefinitely, though unwilling to pause the momentum he had been building, he remained an on-screen character, giving Stone Cold stunners to various authority figures over the next couple of months as they...
Whoa. Someone said he died in 99, his harness malfunctioned, and he fell 90 feet into the ring and died? He died in the ring? Excuse me? Oh my gosh. Oh my god. That is terrifying. We definitely have to watch him one day. What the heck? I could have sworn I asked you guys this. Did I ask you guys? Was it you guys or did I just ask Google? I don't know. If anyone had died in the ring before. Oh, that's so sad.
in storyline, repeatedly denied his attempts to return to competition. In some ways, it actually turned out to be a blessing in disguise, as the Texan actually got more popular during this time, with fans desperately waiting for the moment where he would take out the boss himself, Vince McMahon.
Yeah.
That moment came on the September 22nd episode of Raw, where Austin got into an in-ring altercation with McMahon, then dropped him with a stunner to an electric crowd reaction. And as the rattlesnake was taken away in handcuffs by the cops, the commentary team even speculated on whether or not he would...
Wait. Dark Side of the Ring is a show? Yes, it's a show. Okay. Interesting. Very, very interesting. I kind of want to watch it. It's 6 seasons, though. That's kind of a lot. It looks like only like 10 episodes per season, about 60 minutes per episode. We'll consider, maybe we could start watching that on here, if we're allowed to. I'll see if it's copyrighted or not, but maybe we could start watching it on here, because I'm pretty interested in that.
be fired as a result of his actions. Of course he wouldn't be, but the next week, Vince would force him to sign a kayfabe waiver saying that he would not hold the company responsible if he returned to the ring and got hurt again. This led to Steve's big comeback at the November 9th, 1997 Survivor Series, where he would make quick work of Owen Hart and regain his Intercontinental title. Now, though, the days of the technical wrestler Steve Austin were over. The neck injury had forced him to drastically change his in-ring style and adopt more of a brawling persona. Luckily, though, this perfectly fit in with his Man of the People character, and would soon become the default main event style for the company as a whole. Following the Survivor Series, he had a program with The Rock which foreshadowed what was to come for both men. This saw Austin eventually relinquish the IC belt to the Great One after throwing it into the Piscataqua River, reasoning that he had bigger fish to fry at that point and no longer needed secondary gold. That bigger fish, of course, was the WWE title, and on January 18, 1998 at the Royal Rumble, he won the titular match to earn himself a shot at the big prize at the upcoming WrestleMania 14. In the weeks that followed, he began feuding with then-champion Shawn Michaels and his D-Generation X stablemates. Austin also took part in one of the most famous moments in Raw history when he interrupted Mike Tyson, who was being brought in as the special guest enforcer for the title match, and got in his face, giving him the finger and starting a brawl, which led to Vince McMahon irately telling him that he had ruined everything. After this, McMahon's kayfabe distaste for the rattlesnake continued to grow. It got so bad that after being cornered by Kevin Kelly in an interview, he even admitted that he did not want Austin as the champion, as he would be a corporate nightmare. Well, as it turned out, whether the boss wanted it or not mattered little, because Steve was able to beat HBK at WrestleMania on March 19, 1998 to become the WWE champion for the first time, holding the belt aloft as Jim Ross screamed that the Austin era had begun on commentary.
Look at how young Mike Tyson looks! Yo, I can't. Dude, I'm sorry. Watching them get old is the most heartbreaking thing in the world. Hi, Mickey! But yeah, watching them get old is the saddest thing in the freaking world. Like, actually. It's so sad. Hi, Bronx.
With the help of the new eyeballs brought in by Mike Tyson's involvement and the developing Austin-McMahon feud, WWE skyrocketed into a level of mainstream popularity unheard of since
Right now we're watching the WWE Mickey.
the peak days of Hulk Hogan a decade previous. You couldn't walk down the street in 1998 without seeing someone wearing an Austin 316 t-shirt or overhearing people talk about what had happened on Raw that week.
Wow,
it became
it's
one of those
such an
rare times
impact.
when wrestling not only became acceptable to tell your friends about, it became cool. And as the man during
it
this
became
period,
cool.
Stone Cold would become the biggest draw in the history of the industry. He was a pop culture icon and the most famous wrestler on the planet. All things which, in storyline, infuriated Vince McMahon, who as the evil Machiavellian boss was doing everything he could to wrestle the belt away from the champ through a series of hand-appointed challengers such as Mick Foley and Kane. Week after week, fans all over the world were able to live vicariously through their hero as he
threw the wig
outsmarted and
down.
made a fool out of McMahon. Some of the most memorable moments involved Austin filling the boss's car with cement, causing him to
seen that.
urinate himself on live TV, and maybe most famously, giving him and the rest of his corporation cronies a beer bath after driving a Coors truck down to the ring. If you weren't a fan of wrestling during this time, then it's impossible to overestimate just how over the rattlesnake was. The reactions he got every week dwarfed what would be considered huge nowadays. For an example of this, go back and watch the January 4th, 1999 episode of Raw, and wait for the moment he comes out to help Mick Foley win the title at the end of the show. If that's not the loudest pop in wrestling history, then we don't know what is. Of course, he couldn't beat the boss forever, and it was at Breakdown.
I absolutely, listen, I love Stone Cold, okay? He is amazing. I can see how amazing he is. But why is this man's neck so damn thick? What happened? Why is his neck damn near thicker than his head? I'm sorry. I feel like I'm so mean, but it's like, what the heck? Look at this shit. It's swollen.
house in September of 1998, where the evil McMahon was finally able to wrangle the belt from his foe after putting him in what was effectively a handicap match against The Undertaker and Kane. Austin would not take this lying down,
That's
however,
so
and
messed
continue
up.
to take his ire out on his employer over the next few months, eventually managing to regain the #1 contendership spot after obliterating
Somebody said preventing the injury. Bro, his neck been thick his whole life. Like, it looked like this man be like doing neck workouts. Like, he was working out the wrong thing.
in their long-awaited one-on-one encounter inside a steel cage at February 1999's St. Valentine's Day Massacre pay-per-view. Now,
Should
he
we
had
should we add Vince McMahon on the list of male wrestlers? Like, I feel like that would be so funny to add him on the list and see all the stupid ass moments he has. Screw this guy, like, literally.
date with The Rock at the following month's WrestleMania 15. Despite being a heel, the Great One's popularity was soaring so high by this point that he was threatening to overtake even Stone Cold, and so
Sorry.
This became the most anticipated match the company could possibly put on. When it finally took place on March 28th, the Texan was able to regain the belt he had been screwed out of, however, and prove that he was still the man. Following this, he continued his feud with the McMahons, at one point even briefly becoming the kayfabe CEO of WWE, and taking part in some of the funniest vignettes.
Y'all are saying to add him, I'm gonna add him. I can't believe you guys are actually telling me to add him. I don't even, he's the boss though. He's not even correct, like considered a real wrestler, but it'll be so funny. Like Tay said, for shits and giggles.
You're ever likely to see, as he showed up at Titan Towers in a leather vest, cut-off jean shorts, and a tie to hold drinking competitions at a board meeting and fill Vince's office with cow manure.
Ew.
After this, he finally put the McMahon-Austin rivalry to bed when he beat the boss's surrogate, The Undertaker, in a first blood match to send Vince packing from WWE TV forever. Spoiler, he would be WWE champion by the end of that summer. Still, even if McMahon did return to TV, the program would pretty much be done after this, as Austin would soon have to take time off to get neck surgery. The problems that had started when he broke it 2 years prior, now reaching a point that had become unmanageable. At the 1999 Survivor Series, he was temporarily written out of WWE when an unseen assailant ran him over in a car. This led to Steve disappearing for much of the next year as he recovered from his operation.
Maybe that's why his neck
Now, you would
is so
think
thick.
that at the company's mainstream height, having their biggest star be forced to take a year off would be disastrous, though thankfully The Rock was waiting in the wings to pick up the ball and become the new interim face of the company in the meantime, effectively replacing the Rattlesnake, the seeds of the eventual showdown between the two supernovas in the post-match. This would, however, be a one-off for the time being, and he wouldn't properly come back until September of that year, at which point he began an investigation into who had run him over all those months prior, climaxing in one of the most disappointing reveals in WWE history, where Rikishi admitted to being the one who had committed the act, killing the Angle so dead that the company had to then retcon it a few weeks later to say that Triple H was always the real mastermind behind the whole thing. None of this could do anything.
What did Rikishi say? What did Rikishi say? I did it for The Rock. Stupid.
To quench the pent-up fan support for the Rattlesnake, though, they quickly moved on from this and began waiting for him to reclaim the top prize once again. And at the 2001 Royal Rumble match, maybe the best of all the Rumbles, Austin gave these fans what they wanted when he won it for a record third time to book himself a slot in the main event at WrestleMania 17. It was the match that everyone was waiting for. Austin, Rock 2. WrestleMania 17 has since been described as the peak of the Attitude Era, the crowning moment where everything and everyone that had made this period great came together to put on a perfect wrestling show.
It's so funny to me that The Rock is kind of like a pretty boy. King D, thank you so much for the gifted sub. Thank you. I can't clap because my thing is still updating, but it's still clapping.
King_13 has gifted 1 subs to viewers.
King _13 inches. Sorry. So funny. Okay, anyways, I love how The Rock is still like a pretty boy. Like he's still, you know that. Can you smell what The Rock is? Oh, I want to see Rock's career story so bad. We might have to do him next because I want to see The Rock's career story so bad.
And this is probably true, but none of it would have been the same had it not been for the ultimate main event between arguably the two biggest babyfaces in wrestling history having a showdown to see who truly was the best. That night on April 1st, 2001, in front of a chaotic Texas crowd, Steve Austin was treated like a messianic figure as he came out to the ring. The match itself was a 5-star classic. However, it's most memorable now for the ending, where in truly controversial fashion, Stone Cold did the unthinkable and turned heel, aligning himself with his old enemy Vince McMahon to once again become the champion. The reason for the turn was that Austin felt his character had peaked as a babyface and he needed to change things up. There was an argument for this being true, but you certainly wouldn't have known it that night as the crowd cheered for him like a conquering hero regardless. And in the weeks that followed, they continued to rain love down upon him. This was until it became clear.
Bro tried to turn heel and they still loved him. Like, it's Stone Cold Steve Austin.
That he wasn't going to turn babyface again, and they started to turn away. It was a decision that effectively ended the boom period,
Interesting.
with popularity never again reaching the same level that it had during that 4-year period. Steve has since referred to that decision to turn heel.
That was my dryer. Sorry, guys. That was my dryer.
That night as one of the biggest regrets of his career, and has said that if he could do it over again, he would have remained face. Still though, for as much as this period is maligned, he put on some of his most entertaining work during it, as he began portraying an unstable lunatic prima donna who desperately craved McMahon's approval at all costs. He introduced a lot more comedy elements into his character here, and even gave birth to the "what" chant that has gone on to become the bane of every wrestler trying to cut a promo in the years since. He briefly
the
returned to
what
the side of the
chant?
good guys when the old Stone Cold returned to save Team WWE in the
Mickey.
lead up to that July's Invasion pay-per-view, but it didn't last as he then immediately turned his back on them again to join the Alliance, further denying the fans what they wanted. That being said, he and the rest of the company couldn't ignore these demands forever, and when the Invasion angle ended at that year's Survivor Series, Austin quietly turned face once again, almost becoming the first ever undisputed champion in December 2001 before he was screwed out of this by Booker T. This led to some
Saying
memorable
what?
segments
I don't know
between the
what
two,
is.
including, but not limited to, their hilarious supermarket brawl. But comedy was no longer at the forefront of what fans wanted from Austin. They wanted to see the badass Texas rattlesnake they had first. This program climaxed at WrestleMania 18 a month later in an underwhelming match between Austin and Scott Hall, which saw both men slotted firmly in the middle of the card. That had not been the original plan, of course. Steve was originally scheduled to face the returning Triple H, however, he vetoed this, worrying that he would be playing second fiddle to the game, who was riding his biggest wave of fan support to date. When the NWO came in, there was also discussion of having the dream match of Stone Cold versus Hulk Hogan. However, Steve turned this down too, fearing that the notorious politician Hogan would play games with him and overshadow him on the night. Instead,
Oh,
Triple
Lord.
H
Why are you
faced
turning
Chris Jericho,
everything
and Hulk
down?
Hogan had an iconic showdown with The Rock, leaving Austin something as an afterthought. It would have been
Wow.
unthinkable even a year prior,
No, I
but it looks like
haven't, sir.
WWE were ready to face him down the card to make way for the likes of newcomers such as Brock Lesnar. Steve evidently felt slighted by this, and it's easy to see why. Sure, his popularity was no longer at the insane peaks it had been in 1998, and injuries were beginning to slow him down, but he was still the biggest star in the industry. His frustration continued to build until the final straw came when he was asked to lose to Lesnar in an unadvertised King of the Ring qualifier on an episode of Raw in June 2002. Austin had no problem losing to Brock, of course, but he argued that if someone of his level was going to do so, the match should be promoted as a big deal beforehand. As a result of this, he didn't show up to TV that night, and ended up walking out on the company for almost a year in protest.
Wow.
And tear had finally caught up with him. It wasn't announced as such beforehand, but his third and final WrestleMania match with The Rock at WrestleMania 19 on March 30th, 2003 ended up being Stone Cold's swan song too. And to this day, he is one of the very few wrestlers who has never come out of retirement and returned to the ring. To be honest though, this is probably for the best. While we would all love to see it, we also know that if he ever did come back, it could never be the same, and that the aura of Steve Austin has been protected for all these years largely because he's remained in retirement. Sure, he's continued to make appearances for WWE over the years. He was Raw's sheriff for a time in 2003 and 2004, and since then he's shown up from time to time to deliver a stunner to some poor unsuspecting victim. As he spent more and more time away from wrestling though, he's been able to move into other ventures, taking on a few notable acting roles, as well as becoming something
He's
of a
been
pioneer
acting?
in the wrestling podcast game, and more recently, starting his own reality game show, The Broken Skull Challenge. When all is said and done though, his legacy will be what he did in the ring, because quite frankly, no one can come close to what he achieved. When the Rattlesnake was at the top, wrestling was bigger than it had ever been, and a lot of that was down to how good he was and how over he became as a performer. With his anti-hero character, it changed the way that wrestling babyfaces would be portrayed for the rest of time. And even to this day, the name Steve Austin is synonymous with wrestling, perhaps even more so than
did.
Hulk
He was-
Hogan. So as we move into a new year, crack open a Steve Weiser, and raise a middle finger to 2020 in honor of the best to ever do it, because there will never be another Steve Austin, and that's the bottom line, because Stone Cold said so. Well, guys, what did you think?
Stone Cold said so. Okay, real quick, I did watch The Longest Yard remake. I did not know he was in that. Real quick, a couple of things. First of all, I am so happy that there are so many wrestlers out there that when their careers start to diminish, they start finding other avenues to go into, whether it be acting, music, TV, whatever. I absolutely love that there's wrestlers out there that will not give up. They will keep trying to find other things to get into. The Rock is one of these successful ones. John Cena is one of these successful ones. And I don't know if Stone Cold Steve Austin is successful. Again, I didn't even know he was in movies, but still cool, I guess. But his career as a whole is amazing, in my opinion. Of course, just like any other sport, when you start to get injured, when you start to get old, you can't do as much as you used to. But his career was pretty much just an incline. It climaxed and then a decline. It's normal. It happens. And he definitely was at his absolute peak when he was at the top. So, hi Trinity. Are you SOK Trinity, or because I feel like I've seen your username before. Sorry. But yes. Yes, Stone Cold Steve Austin. That was his story. Absolutely loved it. Absolutely adored it.